well within 2 points of the world champion.
Yeah, massive roller coaster for us, of course. The first half, some nice moments, but mainly tough moments. Some really tough races and feelings. But I'm also very proud of how we never gave up. And again, that's also a lesson for the future. For everyone, that even when it looks like you're out of it, you never give up. You keep working hard, to try and understand your issues, and then you never know what can happen.
Final one. A few words from you on our new world champion, Lando Norris.
Winning your first title is something that I think we all dreamt of. When you get into the sport, you work for that. Since you're a little kid, so you dream of. So when you win your first title, is very emotional. And I hope for Lando as well. I saw a lot of his family is here, so it's important to enjoy this a lot as well tonight. Also with his team, I think again that's another story where it showed that even when you have tough years, when you keep working hard, you keep adding good people to the team, you can overcome all of those things and you can become very successful again. And they had an incredible season together. So it's important that they enjoy it.
Thank you for that, Max. And Oscar, we come to you. Many congratulations on your 16th podium of 2025. Look, you raced hard and fast this evening. How do you reflect on the race and the weekend?
I think honestly, pretty good. There wasn't anything left out there. Obviously, we tried a bit of a gamble on the strategy to give ourselves some different options and hope that the stars aligned and give ourselves the best chance. But ultimately, in the end, that didn't happen. So. I think, given as well, I missed the practice session, took a little bit to find my feet. I think that was the maximum we could have achieved today. We didn't have an answer for Max's pace. So pretty happy with the weekend. Not much more we could have done.
And the season as a whole, how do you reflect on that? I mean, you led the title longer than any other driver this year.
I think, obviously I would have wished for a slightly different ending, but I think this year I've learned, a hell of a lot about myself as a race car driver, myself as a person. I think if I had have presented this season at the start of the year with the pole positions and the wins and the podiums, I definitely would have been pretty happy with that. And I think, even in the tough moments, I've learned a lot about myself and, how I can be stronger in the future with that. So I think ultimately, there's a little bit of disappointment, obviously, but I think I can be very, very proud of the season I've had and plenty of lessons to take to the future.
And can we get your thoughts on Lando and the job he's done this year to be world champion?
I think a very deserving winner. I think I know that every weekend I go on track, it's going to be tough. And I think we've pushed each other through the last 3 years. I think, especially this season, it's been tighter than ever. So, I think he's had a great season, and I think, probably all three of us, but, obviously myself and Lando in the same team, in the same car, have had our ups and downs at different moments. Ultimately I think he's had a good season and a deserving champion.
All right. Thanks both. Let's open this to the floor as ever. Name and publication, please. Who we got?
Scott Mitchell from the race. The question to Max. Max, you hinted a little bit at the complication with Oscar's strategy there and how you ran your race. Did you give much thought pre-race or during the race about backing up or trying to impact the flow of the race that way, or was it more just focus on getting the job done out front?
I had a lot of scenarios in my head, but then of course I knew once the tires Oscar had on the car that would be quite difficult. And I think we were probably a bit too quick, up front. The others couldn't really follow that well. I mean, I think Charles drove his heart out today to try and get onto that podium. So that was also impressive to see. But of course, they went for a two-stop. Yeah, I think even that made it even more complicated, because if you stay on a one stop backing the whole thing up, it's tough. And I think anyway, this new layout around here makes it even harder to do that compared to 2016 or whatever.
Thanks, Max. Next.
Ben Waterworth, Speed Cafe. Question for Oscar. You obviously touch on the disappointment of the season, and ultimately you don't achieve what you were hoping. But do you think, in reflection, you will look back at this year as a success? I mean, not to take away from the careers of the two drivers on either side of you on the podium, but neither of them were fighting for a world championship in their third season. You've come away with the most ever wins by an Australian in a single season. And can you take that hunger then for the title into next year and push even further?
Definitely. I mean, I think, comparing different parts of different people's careers is always difficult with different cars and stuff. But I think definitely I can be very, very proud of the season I've had. I think when I look at this season compared to my first 2 years in F1, this year has been head and shoulders above the first two. And, I think ultimately, whilst the end result is not quite what I wanted, I think there's a lot of optimism and a lot of strength that I've gained from proving to myself what I can achieve through this season. And, those are the kind of things that are not necessarily tied to results. So I think for me, I can definitely take that forwards into the future. And like you said, it's only my third attempt at this in F1. Hopefully I've got plenty more to go. But there's definitely lessons from this year that will only make me stronger for the years to come.
Thank you, Oscar. Next, please.
Tim Haraney, TSN. Question for Max. Max, congratulations on the race win. Heard you on the radio to GP. I just wondered, what has he meant to you over your career, in particular this season with all the ups and the downs you guys have gone through?
It's been an emotional year. I think in that sense, forget about the results this year. I don't want to go too much into detail, but it's been tough, but I'm very happy, to be able to work with someone that passionate. And he's definitely, of course, he's my race engineer, but I see him as my friend. We have lived through so many emotional things together and fantastic achievements. I'm sure that he was a bit emotional after the flag. So I'm actually really looking forward to leave here and catch up with him, because it's not been easy at times for him. So I'm just very proud to be able to work with someone that good as well. And again, also a proper example of someone that never gave up this season, even through the difficult times.
Thank you. Next.
Ronald Vodding, motorsport.com. It's a question to Oscar. You mentioned a couple of times that you've learned a lot of lessons this year that you can use for the upcoming seasons. What have been the most valuable lessons, without going into too many details, but is that related to the Austin, Mexico weekend, or is it going further than that?
Ultimately, both, I think. There's definitely been lessons directly to do with how I drive the car and how I can be better in different conditions and just become a better all-round driver. There's also been lessons outside the car as well, with dealing with adversity at times, dealing with difficult moments that I've definitely learned a lot about. I've learned a lot about myself in those kind of things. So I think there's been lessons both in the car and out of the car that will definitely help me for the future.
Thanks for that. Next.
Oscar, Julian Linden from the Herald Sun. 91 days till Melbourne. I'm sure you're not thinking about it right now. You're wanting to break. What will you do over the summer break to prepare for Melbourne? Obviously, there's huge interest when you go back home. How are you going to rest and recuperate and start preparing?
Yeah, no, it's nice having another summer break. I'm obviously going back to Australia for a little bit. See my family and friends, give my annual hellos and goodbyes. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to some time away from racing for a little bit, to be honest. It's been obviously a long season, a demanding season, and as enjoyable as driving the fastest cars in the world is, I think a break every now and again is always a nice thing. So just looking forward to spending some time not thinking about race cars and spending some time with the people around me. And then obviously, like you pointed out, the new season's not far away, so there's obviously a massive challenge ahead of everyone for next year. So it's going to be important to enjoy that time off whilst you can, and then come back as refreshed as possible with the new challenges for next year.
Thank you. Next.
Matt Coach from PlanetF1.com. Max, I guess result and championship outcome aside, is this the best that you feel you've ever driven in Formula One?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I have no regrets of my season. I think the performance has been strong. I've hated this car at times, but I've also loved it at times. And I always try to extract the most of it, even in the difficult weekends that we have had. I mean, it's been, like I said before, a proper roller coaster with the car. But luckily the last, I would say 8-9 rounds in general have been a lot more enjoyable. And also in the team, we have a great atmosphere at the moment. We really on a roll, positive energy, belief, confidence, and that's exactly what you want also heading into next year.
Thanks, Max. Next.
Vincent Sondermeijer, NRC from the Netherlands. Question for Max. Was there a point during the race where you sort of resigned and thought, okay, I'm not going to win the title? Or did you keep believing that there might be something happening until the final lap?
I just kept looking on the screen if something would pop up. I mean, the race itself, of course, went really well, and I was just enjoying sitting in the car, driving it. Every straight, you keep looking if something happens, but at the same time, that's part of racing as well, so I was not really too fussed about it.
Thank you. Another one.
Oscar. You mentioned about taking some time. Are you going to get to any of the cricket this winter? Don't know if you were aware of the result earlier today in the Ashes.
Oh, yes, I am.
Did you think maybe luck was on your side? Australia gave England an absolute walloping there, and in time for the race as well.
It was nice that the boys could wrap it up before the race started. Yes, hopefully I will get to some cricket. Ideally Boxing Day, given it's in Melbourne. I mean, there's part of me that kind of wants the series to still be alive by that point. There's part of me that really doesn't. So, I'll take whatever we can get. But it's been enjoyable to watch for the last couple of weeks.
For some. Next one.
Yeah, thank you, Alejandro Alonso Lopez, diariomotor.com. Question to Oscar. You've been in quite a few championship battles in your career. Is fighting for an F1 title anything comparable to any other championship fights you've had?
I think there are similarities, yes. I think the emotions you feel, the emotions you feel are more or less the same. I think what's different in F1, when I compare to the junior championships, the longest junior championship I had was 10 rounds. This one, has been 2.5 times that length.
Champion at 10 rounds, right?
Correct, yeah, thanks. So I mean, I think just the duration you kind of have to live through it is much more. My F2 season, for example, was 8 rounds. So I think that part is quite different. And I think just the stakes are a little bit different as well. Obviously in the junior categories, you obviously want to win the championship, but you're kind of trying to just make make your case for why you should be in F1. And I think we've seen through the years, I think Max is probably the perfect example of it. You don't need to win championships to demonstrate your capabilities for F1, whereas when you get to F1, there's nothing more than becoming champion in F1. So I think that aspect is a bit different, but there are also some similarities.
Thank you. Next.
Leonid Kluv, Grande Premio. Question for Oscar. How do you think the dynamics will change next year in the team between yourself and Lando? And will it be harder to fight with him now that he's a reigning world champion? Thank you.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that will change anything. I think for me, he's obviously had a great season this year and a deserving champion, but he's still Lando Norris. It's not like he's become Superman. So, I don't think things will change with that. I'm expecting obviously full fairness from the team and kind of equality going forward. And, I don't have any concerns that will change at all. I think, clearly Lando's had a very strong season this year. Ultimately did a better job.
Thank you. Another one.
Jack Smith, Motorsport Monday, motorsportweek.com. Just a question for you, Max, to follow up on Matt's one. Given how well you did drive this year and how much ground you made up to take it all the way to this race, can you take as much pride out of this season compared to the pride you took from the last 4 years when you did win the championship?
I mean, at the end of the day, of course, it's always nicer to win it. But honestly, I'm sitting here now with probably a better feeling than what I had last year at this time, because the second half of last year was pretty tricky at times as well. We have been struggling for, I would say, a year. The second half of last year and the first half of this year. But I actually, feel a lot better now. Of course, shame to miss out on the title, but at the same time, for a long period of time, I was not even thinking about the title. It never felt like I was in it until a few rounds ago, So that's pretty crazy. But you take your pride in different ways. But I'm happy with myself, and also into next year. Like, I'm not in a state of like having to worry about my skills or whatever, So I feel good.
Thank you. Let's do a couple more.
Luke Smith from The Athletic. Oscar, just picking up on your point about fairness, McLaren's got quite a bit of flack at points this year for papaya rules and the equality between you and Lando, but to have got through this season without any major bust-ups and in the end getting the ultimate goal of a McLaren driver winning the side, so how much is that testament to, the team's approach and culture?
I think it is, it is a testament to the way we go racing. Obviously, it's not easy fighting for, the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship with two very evenly matched drivers. But ultimately, that's a problem that we knew we were going to have. And at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of good things that come from that. Yes, there's difficult moments and tension at times, but, I think both Lando and I have become better drivers from pushing each other to the limit. Sometimes that's been uncomfortable for everyone. But I think ultimately, it's been a good thing. We've obviously had a lot of discussions through the year, and I'm sure we'll have discussions in the off season about anything we want to do slightly differently for next year. But I think at the end of the day, they gave us both as good of a chance as the team could have to fairly fight for a world championship, and that's all you can ask for.
Oscar, another one.
Giles Richards, The Guardian. A question for you, Max. You lost out to Lando by just 2 points. I'm just wondering what you think now about the incident with George Russell in Spain, whether you regret that, looking back on it in hindsight.
You forget all the other stuff that happened in my season. The only thing you mention is Barcelona. I knew that would come. Yeah. Are you giving me a stupid grin now? I don't know. Yeah. It's part of racing at the end, you live and learn. Championship is won over 24 rounds. I've also had a lot of early Christmas presents given to me in the second half, so you can also question that.
Thank you. We will leave it there.